You
Okay.
don't have to watch your P's and Q's, I don't mind, except for if there's any small children in the room, Aiden.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
My dog's in a room.
Nah, your dog don't matter. She swears enough. So I would like to say welcome to Just Chopsing Podcast. And today we are with, who are we with, Dave?
Powell-Payne.
Powell-Payne.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Yeah, fire away with anything you want to fire away with.
That's it's going to be down to David, I'm afraid. He knows you
Go
guys
for it, David.
a lot better than me. So
Obviously, I've seen you guys in a memo, and I know Mark really well because I was saying to Terry beforehand. I've known Mark probably for about 10 years now, just through Steelhouse.
Yeah.
And obviously, I knew that he was I thought he was a little bit of a drummer, and we'd have a drink and we'd have a laugh and stuff. And then all of a sudden, you guys started releasing these songs and everything, and I just couldn't believe it. Absolutely blown away.
Ah, thank you.
So yeah. So how do you think the album's gone down? Has it been well received?
Hey.
Well, I think so. I mean, when we did sort of collate a lot of reviews, scores, and things, and looking at feedback and comments, basically over 2 or 3 months after it released, just to get the general consensus, and it seems to be pretty much all positive. If I'm quite honest, I think the only real criticism, if you call it that, is some people think that perhaps there's one or two too many ballads, but general reception has been fantastic from everything I've seen anyway. So, which is great.
So, yeah. I have no problem. I love a ballad. You know what I mean?
Me too.
nothing wrong with a good ballad, is there? Do you know what I mean?
Definitely not. Definitely not. No, I was blown away. I ended up having to order it through. I think it was Germany. I ordered it from, because there's earache in there, so I think I was the only place I could get it from at the time.
Frontiers, was it?
Sorry?
Frontiers, yeah.
Sorry, yeah, sorry. Not earache.
Better get that in there.
Sorry, guys. Yeah.
I was going to say, I used to be earache as well.
I'll have a few Italians emailing me in the morning. Otherwise,
that's right. Yeah.
So
it was
yeah.
Frontiers, actually, yeah. Yeah. So
I'm with Aidan. I think we had a lot of really good positives. We messed up on one because Classic Rock did our review, and I didn't realize who it was. I didn't realize it was the Mr. Ling. I know him back in the days. But even he scored us well, and he did inbox me saying it's the best thing he's ever heard. He only knew me, really, because obviously I was in air race before, but he says the best thing he'd ever heard, and he loved the ballads. And I am with Aidan. I think possibly we did go down one, maybe two too many ballad lines, but I think as it goes, I think we've grown already. I think we all kind of know which direction we want to go. It was me and Penn, and then it was Aidan back in, and then it was Alex at a later date. And now that the four of us are together, working together, I think we kind of know which way we want to go now. I think we the next album, which, we're already mustering ideas up for. I think we're just going to bang out 9 absolute bangers and just do one ballad. And we'll use the ballads from the first album for live because they've seemed to be working. So
yeah. But you can shoes them up anyway live, can't you? So you can always rock them up a little bit anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, well, last week was the first time we went live with the full album. We did 9 out of the 10 tracks, and I think the one that came over really well was The Storm Always Goes Down Well. That's Aidan's Baby. He wrote that one. And the other track that goes down well at the end of the night, This Girl Like You, and Alex down below wrote that one.
Yeah, it's a good song.
So, when me and Penn wrote Fly High, we only originally had it as just a piano thing, as we sort of got it together. So we sort of will have a track, and we played that last week, and it went down really well. So I think we will use that live, and it gives the two boys in the view here about 4 or 5 minutes just to have a breather, But the next album, I think, is where we need to make it work. We're going to keep the same team and same label, but it'll be a lot more of Aidan and Alex involved from the get-go, because I want them, they need to be comfortable what they play. They're the art as well at the end of the day. They're the colour and shade. So they need to work together and make sure it works right for them as well on stage,
Yeah.
Cool. But Distance is a class song.
Yeah, Distance is a good song.
It was come out first as well.
Yeah, it's an easy write for me and Penn. That was, it was both going through the same thing.
So what's the thought behind it then? That's what I was going to ask.
Okay. So back in 2017, I was on tour with Air Race. We were due to open up a huge festival in Sheffield. I had a phone call from my brother that my sister had passed away at 3 a.m. At a very young age. Strong heart attack. Unfortunately, my family have suffered from it. So I came back from tour, mid-tour. So I was just in a really bad place. You know, I just couldn't be bothered with anything really. Singing was last of my worries. I was currently working with Aidan in a covers band. So, you know, the support was always there from everybody. But at the end of the day, you're in a dark place. Yeah. And I was done. I was done with everything. I just hit an all-time high on my first 10-day tour with Air Race going around the UK. And we were getting moved into different bigger rooms because we were selling so many tickets and everything. And everything was on a massive high. And then this huge crunch comes down and black cloud. So my sister was like, you know, I lost my dad when I was young. So she was both parents to me. So there's no doubt that when that one came through, that really sort of hit hard. So, and I had a message from Penn about 3 days later. I've known Penn since I was 21, 22 in cover bands and stuff. And he just said sorry and things, you know. And then literally a couple of days later after that, his sister passed away.
Yeah.
So we just got on, really. You know, it's easy to talk to somebody when they're going through something than, for argument's sake, you know, bearing all your grind onto Aidan, you know, as a member of my band, like, you know, and other boys in that band as well, and other people around me. It was easier to talk to Penn, and he said, you know, one day we'll write a song about this. I said, yeah, one day when I'm when I've removed the black cloud above me and we come to a nice sunshine day, yeah, we'll write one about it, like, you know. And I think it was about a year later, and he sent me a little piano bit, just the main verse. Then it would be in Distance, and I thought, well, it's got something. And I woke up the next day, 3 a.m, and I wrote the whole lyric for it. With a vision of how the piano would fall throughout the song. We produced it a little bit different to how we originally had it, but yeah, as the album says, voila, there's the song, and that was the start of it all, really. And then I met these two headers, who are my
you kind of knew me already.
yeah. But I think with Aidan, like Aidan's always been for me, I've worked with many guitar players, and Aidan for me is the most versatile guy I've ever worked with. If you want Lukather, he'll give you Lukather. If you want Maiden, he'll give you Maiden. And if you want a ballad and you want Michael Bolton, he'll give you that. So his versatility, we needed to find his versatility in his writing skills. And he basically sort of leveled himself into that level and said, well, I can do it. So I said, look, jump in. We want somebody, a full-time member. We did. Not going to excuse the other two lads on Distance because Steve Lation and Adam were you know, prolific writers with us on that as well. But I needed something, and Penn, we needed something to go live and full-time live. And I don't want to be a band, you know, using different people all the time. I like to, you know, get a good gel setting going. So that's when I called upon Aidan, do you want to have a little bash? And then that's where No Escape came from. And then further on, then we'd written a few, and I was like, no, we were like, you know, Aidan was like, I can play bass and stuff, you know, but we need a bass player. That man then down below me in the fifth screen, I give him a shout, and he came up the house. He lives a couple of miles, well, I say miles, a couple of meters away from me. He came up and he was like, yeah, you know, I give him some ideas, and on you, Al, what did you think?
That was great. You had all the songs written out ready for me to go, didn't you? So I felt like a real session bass player when I came up to see you.
Yeah. You know, Alex's touch, you know, although myself, Penn and Aidan, we'd had the bass lines in our head, how we wanted them to go on the album, we let Alex rip. And he ripped. He really, really did go for it, like, you know, so he didn't, it was hard for Alex as well. I know how hard it was for him at the time, because really wanted to be a part of the writing, but we were up against time. Frontiers were demanding stuff, and where's the artwork, you know, where's the songs, you know, come on, we need this, we need that, and we were pressing on time. And And that's why I'm lucky that we've still got the foundation as the four of us together, because I think the next album it is going to be an absolute monster. I promise anyone of that. I think the four of us together writing really works really well. The
So
2
just
and
to
3 was good, but
sorry.
4 I think could be a real good mix.
Yeah. Sorry to butt in there. I was going to say to add to what like Adam said, like for example, again, I know Adam mentioned, but like the Storm, the fretless bass work in that, it was just like, wow. Like when I wrote it, I never envisioned any of that, and then when you hear it on there, you are like, wow, where did they just elevate it beyond? And same with like Better Days, that little bass line, the do 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 with a big slide, like I didn't envision any of that, and it's just this. Mwah.
Yeah, Alex is gifted as well. So I think what you got here is you haven't just got 4 people sort of like locked in at what they're good at. I think what people will soon realize, like if they'd have watched us last Saturday, I know I could swap these 2 around and play each other's instruments. That's not a problem. Pen comes off the drums, goes to piano. I can play a little bit. I could go to guitar if we needed to. I wouldn't, because I would never want to do that. But the difference is what you get is if everyone could play a little bit of something, it adds something to the flavor of that music. And when they go home and they've got that song in their head and they go, oh, actually, this would be good here, they can just go to whatever instrument they want in the house and pull it off.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we're lucky. We've got 4 very versatile guys who literally write for the song, not for people who want to hear a big wailing top C vocal or a mental shredding note or some Billy Sheehan bass line or whatever and drums. We write it for the song, and the song has got to be delivered first.
Yeah. It's pretty handy that you can all play. You can all play. To be honest, it's sometimes that can be quite rare, but it usually, like you said, it helps with songwriting, and it would probably help you within the band as well as a live act.
Yeah, definitely. I think for me, obviously driving the shows and stuff from my end, in fairness to the boys, they've let me get on with that. They're just leaving one guy deal with the gigs and the shows. I do all the bookings and everything, get it all sorted. And we will have some very good news come in either the end of this week or beginning of next, where you will see what's about to happen with us. And it's the very first taster of what's to come. But I wanted to obviously make sure the boys were happy to go forth with it, because at the end of the day, we have got jobs, we've got kids, and we've got mortgages.
Yeah.
We're not going to be able to play 48 dates a year, twice a year. It's not going to happen. If it did, lovely, we'll have it on a plate, but it's not going to happen. And we need to make it as comfortable as possible, to take a little bit of money out of it, to pay for the road, to pay for the album, the productions and stuff. And, inevitably, we all take a little wage out of it and try and earn a little bit of money from it. That's what we're trying to do at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But most importantly, we want to play to people.
Yeah.
But we won't be doing any more shows. I've done it. I bought that T-shirt, and I'm not doing it. I did that when I was younger, and I'm not doing it again. And I wouldn't do it with the boys. We're going to have to build. It's going to be hard. But I think the boys, understand my drive of I want them to be playing to big audiences. And like I said, hopefully this week or beginning of next, you'll see that what we've just managed to pull off, and it's a start, and it's a big start. Well, we've had a good start anyway. We've already played with 2 iconic bands, really. We've had FM and what was the other one we did?
Cats in Space.
And Cats in Space, yeah, sorry about them. And Cats in Space have just announced they're playing with the Yellow. Do you know what I mean? So they're starting to move up the ladder, so I'm chuffed for them as well. I mean, that's huge. So yeah, we get a bit of snippet of that, and I'll be very happy. And I think the boys will as well.
Yeah. I've always said, like, even when Adam's like explained this to me, because I will say, like, I'm totally new to this side of the business. I've always been a weekend warrior playing covers for the last 15, 20 years or whatever. And I find that, being realistic, that tends to be where you really make money as a musician these days, ironically. But I said to Adam countless times, as long as we break even, so the gigs and the travel and everything's paid for itself, if we make like a couple of quid on top, great. I have no delusions of grandeur. Like Adam said, 48 dates and traveling around the world. Those days, I think, are long gone for most bands. Let's be realistic,
Yeah, well, you've got to be pretty consistent. That's the trouble.
Merch, you make money.
Yeah.
if you're lucky. But like I said,
Yeah.
the only way, you just got to be consistent. You got to be kicking down doors and to get your name out there, really.
Yeah, I think it's about a live. It's about a live performance for myself. I think the boys are the same. Penn's formidable on drums. There's the guy's as mad as a box of frogs, and I'll tell you that. I'll tell you to his face, and I'll tell it to anyone's face. I love him to bits. The guy can play, like seriously play. It's quite shocking what he can deliver. Saturday was a huge testament for me there. I've watched him loads of times. I've been on stages on the same bills as him. I've been on posters with him. I've never seen him play like he played Saturday night. When he was delivering those songs Saturday, he was an absolute animal. He was unreal. So kudos to him as well, because I know he's not here now. He's got something on, but he's a massive part of this band, and he comes up with some crazy ideas, and you just go, I don't know what I'm listening to. And then the next one he gives you is really melodic. And then I go, actually, if we mix that one with a bit of that nuts one you gave earlier, we've got a song, and he just keeps he drives the band that way. He's like, here's another idea. And Dave, I know you know him. Yeah. You know how relentless he is. He will not let that conversation go until you've listened to what he said to you. And that's good. That's what you need. You need driving forces in the band, and he is that guy.
Yeah, just to reiterate on that, iterate a bit more, like what Adam said about that. Like a prime example is No Escape. Now, the riff that like the main chorus riff and the intro riff, he came up with that. He was playing it on keyboard, but he was playing in a sort of silly, cheesy, jaunty way, if you know what I mean. And he sent it over WhatsApp, and he was like, "Oh, this is crap. I'm just messing about." I was like, "No, hang on. There's something here." I took it away. I worked on it, converted it to a more pulsing guitar riff, and then I wrote the verse chords and all the structure there, brought it back, and then Adam, when we sat there, when we were demoing it, it was like, there's something here, boys, it's banging, this is. And but that just goes to show, he comes up with the most random riffs and ideas, and then I hear something in it, I'm like, ooh, take it away, bring it back, and then a song was born. Just wanted to give a little example of what Adam's on about.
Alex can tell the story because he's responsible for Girl Like You.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was just a cool riff. I wanted Aiden to have this magical Guitar Hero moment at the start, so I did this really widdly bit. And I put the riff at the end of it, thinking let Aiden have the limelight. And then Adam comes to me, to get rid of all that shit, let's do them a wicked riff. And then it went from there then, but I can't take credit for all of that. The boys, a lot of the structure.
We had a 4-minute session of Alex of just loads of different bits, and it was just coming to the end, and I was like, there's not much in this for me. I don't know what to write with there. I said to Penn, anything for you? There's a little bit in the middle, a little bit here, but I'm with you. It's not much there right now. The very, very last 3 minutes, 42 out of 4 minutes 12. And there's this riff. I thought, ooh, hang on. Aiden, I need you to look at something. And then that's how it happens then. And then we go to Penn's house, record it basically, and then we're off.
What's nuts about it though is just how organic it is. Again, this is all brand new to me. This is my first time writing original stuff, but stuff like that, I say with Better Days and stuff, I was just jamming chords, the verse chords randomly, and Adam starts ad-lib singing on it, and we're like, wow, hang on a minute. Then he knows where he wants it to go, but I randomly just go down to the pre-chorus chords, and he's like, that's exactly where I want you to go. I'm like, right, okay, great. And then I was like, right, for the chorus we do this, and doing the descending chord structure, and he was like, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to do. And we were just like, we literally just wrote a song in literally a space of 5 minutes. It's just crazy how
I think we wrote questions in less. I think we wrote questions in literally as long as the song is. I think Penn had the chord for that, and then that came 3 minutes later. That song was done. That was just
I slightly modified that riff, didn't I?
It was just but again, he's not going to be in this party with us. But Uncle Pete, Mr. New Deck, he's formidable for us. He knows our direction. He knows what we want. And he produces us in a way that you just can't describe. He's direct. Me and him work a bit more deeper on the the vocals and melody, as you know, melody is hook at the end of the day, and hook is what you need to keep people listening to the song. And New Deck knows what he's talking about, and that's why we're keeping him on board at all times, because any ideas I get, I can send him something of 30 seconds. He could probably send me the whole song back, but he doesn't. He's like, no, you work how you want to do it. So us four, Pete Newdeck, Dan Angelo's been a big part of it. And then we were just super lucky to get Harry Hess involved then for the mastering. And that's why the songs sound so good. Yeah. It's down to Harry at the end of the day. Harry did a massively good job on mastering for us.
Mm.
Oh, it's good. It's good. I can see the excitement in your faces as well.
Yeah, we love it.
Working together. I can see it. I can see it. It's brilliant.
Do you know the thing is, I've had about 10 interviews, live ones in Germany and things like that. And I'll say the same thing, and the same as I say it now. We don't care about like other things like other bands do. We just want to play. We enjoy playing, and we enjoy each other's company. You know, if you got on the bus with us on the way to the gig, if you're feeling negative, you're going to get put down very quickly, because we will rip the living shit out of you until you smile. You can't be on a bus with me and Penn, Aidan and Alex and not get drilled after 5 minutes on that bus. We don't give a crap about the money sort of things and we want to be famous and all this rubbish. We don't care. We just want to play live and play it well.
Yeah.
And so far so good. 3 shows in, we've delivered,
Yeah.
We just love it. We just love messing about and being childs. I mean, we're all touching 30 to 40 to 50. So when we're away from the wife and kids, we just want to have a laugh. We don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. Accurate.
Everyone's going, yeah.
It's like escapism.
And we're Welsh. And at the end of the day, all we know is how to have a good bloody piss up and a good sing song, and that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
No, it's good. It is good. No,
no ego either.
I seen the show obviously up in the memo, and I was in Florida on the 7th of March, which was my birthday, so I was gutted.
Missed FM, yeah.
And I just been getting over like a really rough cold. I was just saying to Terry earlier on, so me and the missus were wanting to come down to the bunkhouse, but when we checked all the train times and everything, there was nothing suitable for us to get home.
Okay.
We ended up not making that one, unfortunately. But we'll definitely be at the next ones, and I'm hoping you'll end up playing at Winter's End, because I've already paid for the tickets for Winter's End, and they've not announced anybody.
No, I don't. I can tell you now we won't be at that one, but if they do give me the nods, yeah, like I said, I can't say too much, but we have. I'll tell you one thing. We have brought somebody in to help us with live shows, and that person has already come through for us. So, like I said to the boys, again, like I said earlier, they work, I work, Penn works. It's difficult for us to just take all our holidays in one go. We don't want to do that. We got families and stuff, so we're trying to base it around that. But I think next year, I think our live thing is going to be very busy, because the person that we're working with is already sorting us out for a couple of things. So I think we're going to be gold for next year.
Brilliant.
And then
go on.
Another album. I think that's what we need. So that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, you usually plan, especially for festivals and stuff, you need to be planning a year in advance anyway.
Yeah, we missed the boat a little. We made a bit of a jidder on the release day. I should have known about it, really, thinking about it, but that was the date that was offered, so that's what we took. But ideally, we should have gone with April. And then that would have given us enough time for promoters and agents to book us for this year, where we've lost half a year now because people were still listening to the album. I think it would have been a little unfair to try and get out there and play if people hadn't really listened to the album. We're not really known anyway at the moment. So, but yeah, we're about 6 months behind, but we'll be fine. I think, we've had a chance to rehearse hard and things, and we can do a bit more forward planning with it. And it's easier for the boys to maintain gigs around it now. So it should be fine. Yeah.
It's hard work, man. I know what it's like being in a band. So
yeah, it's tough.
Especially like you said, you've all got families and
yeah.
It's not like, and you're not like 20 years old anymore. It's
no. And
when you've got no responsibilities.
No, well, mine are all older, so I'm very lucky. I'm a young oldish. I say young oldish. I'm a young dad in a way because my kids are 19, 17 and 14. Do you know what I mean? So we had our kids very young, but
Yeah.
Aidan and Alex have got young children. Do you know what I mean? So it's and I've always said to the boys, I would never take them away from that because I've lived that life, like, you know. So I don't want to put that on them because it's a big heartache. And again, bills come first.
Mhm.
Yeah. And you never
What
get
we
that time
do-
back either, do you? You never get it
No,
back. So whatever you miss, you
I
never
lost
get
that
back.
time when I did my stuff. So I'm happy to do whatever they'd like to do. And if they say, no, I can't do it, it's fine. There's no, and that's the good thing about this band. Again, everyone just tells people straight. There's no, we have any issues, you'll hear about them in the WhatsApp group. Like, you know, it'll be there. It'll be right in front of you to read. So.
Yeah.
Do you all live like locally in the same area, or?
Al?
There you go, sorry.
I said, do you all like live locally? Do you all live in the same area?
Well, me and Adam live just in the street. Adam's in a couple of streets above me.
Yeah.
And then Aidan and Penn just a couple of streets away from each other as well.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Yeah, it's good for like recording because I can pick Alex up on the way,
Yeah.
and Aidan can pretty much walk down the road and he's in his house. So that's the main reason why this band works is because I wanted to keep it Welsh based, with Welsh talent, and everyone can just sort of get to everyone's house pretty quick. Because when you're writing songs, you need to act on it quick, otherwise you lose that motion. And Alex and Aidan are the techie boys of the band. You know, them two can do anything on a PC. It's not an issue recording stuff. Me and Penn are a little bit older there. We don't really know like how they do it, but Aidan there with a stupid Sonic headset on. He can pull anything off that guy. So and Alex, if I'm stuck, I'm just ringing him constantly. How do I do this? How do I do that? And he's like, yeah, I'll sort it out now. So but it works. It's good. It's good.
There's also rehearsals as well, you know, so you don't have to go to one end of the country and, you know,
I've done that one as well.
Yeah.
8 hours to Cambridge for a 45-minute rehearsal and 7 hours back.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. How long have you been in a band? Or how long have you been playing in bands then, Adam?
I started when I was 15. My first ever gig was when I was 15. I opened up Merthyr Football Club, 600 people.
Oh, we lost the guy.
He did say he was going to go anyways. Fine.
Oh, did he?
He's about 50 minutes late actually. So yeah, he's got another Zoom meeting on his work thing. So 15 I started. I opened up for Owen Money.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I was just doing like cabaret work and stuff. I found a voice when I was 15. My mum pushed it, and I came out to that then about 18, and then but from 19 onwards I was in bands. So 21 years in bands.
Yeah, you don't look that old.
41. I'm happy with 41. 41. I did Tidal, which was I was in a band with my stepbrother. That did all right, actually. We played with like Phil Campbell and stuff when we were younger. Then I did Serpentine. I did a brief spell in there. That did not work out at all. So I left that. And then I had the phone call for Air Race then. That worked out well. But then we had COVID, so that killed it.
Yeah.
So they're not going at all now, Air Race, are they? They're not going now?
No, Laurie obviously is the main focus behind the Treatment Boys. So he does a lot of work with them. It's his son at the end of the day. Danny is the drummer. He was also the drummer for Air Race. So he's doing loads of stuff for that. And to be honest with you, I think I spoke to him about 8 weeks back. I think he's just chilling. You know, at the end of the day, he's done his stuff. I mean, his first tour was with Queen and AC/DC. So, you know, he's done it all. He revisited Air Race back in 2013 with the original lineup, and then revisited it again then with the new lineup that I was involved with in 2016. Released the album of Frontiers. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. Really good opener to touring. You know, what I thought touring was and what it actually was two different concepts of the world.
Yeah.
You know, and again, Laurie is a formidable songwriter. Learned a lot from him. How he just gets things done, like, you know, like the way he moves. He's sharp, you know. He knows what he's doing. So yeah, and the touring aspect of it, I absolutely loved it. I really loved it. It was hard. I told Aidan like loads of times, if you had to tour with the Air Race gang, it can break people, like, you know, because you're not sleeping where you think you're sleeping each night. I can tell you that now. And then you get up the next day and you're still in the same clothes, so to speak. I was lucky. I didn't have to. He looked after me as a singer. But the rest of that crew, they were in the back of that van on a mattress. That's how hard they hit the road. Yeah. And them treatment boys will still do it now. They're the hardest touring guys I've ever seen. They are unreal. There's no one that can touch them. There's no big fancy buses here. They are 5-6 boys going touring. Will sleep anywhere. They'll take an hour if they have to, and then they'll open up to 800 people, and they don't give a shit. They do not care about eating, drinking, as long as that gig is good. That's it. But they're very hard touring guys, and I have massive kudos to them and a huge eye opener for me. Like I said, I was looked after. I'm not going to say any different, but those guys were incredible at the job. I've never seen any other band like it.
Yeah, I've seen them live. Good as well. Really good band live.
Really good, and they rehearse every day.
Very good.
Every day. No messing around. They got a tour coming up. They'll be in that room from 12 to God knows what time, and they'll go to work, and they'll come back and rehearse again and go to work. They're animals. They honestly, I've never met anything like it. And that's Laurie Mansworth for you right there. That is the drive they got is unreal, including his, like, you know. So I always take my hat off to them lads. They look after me, especially when I went down on that tour for me. They were there.
Yeah.
They got me home within the hour or two. Like, you know, they were flying down that M4 to get me home.
Yeah.
So no, they're good lads. They are. But so 21 years, and I think this is my favourite part of it. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Definitely my favourite crew.
Yeah.
Working with the likes of him.
Do you think it's like your favourite bit now because you've got no real expectations?
Do
you think, like, I mean, not real expectations as in making great music. I mean, as when you were younger, you thought you were probably going to be a singer, a rock star.
Oh yeah. When I was younger, I thought I was going to be David Coverdale, don't worry, but that didn't work out that well, did it?
So do you feel like a lot less pressure? I should say a lot less pressure, really, rather than less expectations.
Do you know what? I think it's more pressure because, again, what I didn't realise, again, a kudos to Laurie there. He was running the band and writing the music, you know, and although we write the music together, running this band is more pressure than ever because I got to think of everybody's like well-being, myself. The organising of some of these gigs already has been difficult, really difficult. We've got there in the end, and it's only now I'm sort of like getting there. But when the label are hammering you, I've showed Aidan the emails I had. When they're hammering you constantly when you're trying to work in your job, then it's pressure. So no, I don't enjoy it more because of there's less pressure. I enjoy it more because I'm working with 3 boys who actually have the same drive as I do. And that's just, as we said earlier, we just want to play. We just want to earn a couple of quid, which gets us to the next album. And if things become bigger of it, great. But I think we're just lucky that we wrote tracks that work. I think, like, again, New Deck was a part of the writing on some of the tracks as well, and co-wrote some. But they just work for us. I think they're just easier to sing.
Yeah.
Going back 5 months back, the same as you said earlier, Dave, I wasn't very well. That's why we had to postpone a lot of stuff from January to April, really. I did the FM gig in March, but I wasn't 100%. Aidan knows it. I had a really bad, I don't know what it was. It was like well, Aidan had it as well. It was like a laryngitis thing, where every time you just went for something above volume of your voice, it would break. So when you're holding a 3.5 octave range, trying to sing voices and then No Escape and then The Storm, it just wasn't working. And I just said, oh, look, we're going to have to just hold back a minute. And it did take me about 4 months to get back. I'm back now, thankfully. And I thought my voice was gone. I told the boys, I think I'm done here, you know. I can't even come up with songwriting ideas because I can't sing what I actually want to sing.
Yeah.
So yeah, back to your question. More pressure in the business side of things, definitely, because I'm doing it myself. But less pressure with writing and live, because I know the boys are good and I know what they can do, so I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. Because like you said, you all work shifts, or do you work weekends, or?
I work one day of the weekend and I have one day in the midweek, which I always play golf on. That's an absolute testament to my week. The boys will tell you that also. I bore the hell out of them because that's all I do is play golf. But like I said, I got two older boys. We all play together, and the youngest one's now joined. So yeah, I'm midweek guy one day, and I have a weekend. Aid, I think you're off weekends, is it? Or
Yeah, I'm a typical Monday to Friday person, so fortunately my weekends are clear.
Yeah, because
So I get to do my covers.
I suppose it's quite difficult to commit to gigs when you don't have the work same schedule, you know.
yeah, well, Penn works shifts, and then Alex will work every minute of the day, I think.
Yeah.
Absolute workaholic that guy is. So he's always working. He's a plumber, I think, by day, and he does a lot of
himself.
Yeah, I think he works for himself so he can manage his own time. But he spends a lot of his weekends doing. He works for like an agency doing bass for. Well, it's not I would say a cover band, but the wedding party band. Then so
Okay,
he earns a lot of good coin from that. I think.
Yeah.
So and good kudos to him. Like it is out there if you want it,
Yeah.
but like Aidan says, he does it still. I don't do it anymore. I stopped it just before Christmas, but it is where the money is. Unfortunately, there's no stress. It's good cash.
Well, he's gone now. But
Yeah.
David, have you got your tap fixed?
Yes.
No.
The other thing about Alex, he's probably the nicest guy you'll ever meet. We have a thing, don't we, Aid, where we shake hands, yeah? We say, oh, how's it going?
Yeah.
That guy doesn't do shake hands. It's hugs only.
Yeah.
Everything's a hug.
Big hugs. No hug. No, he doesn't do shaking hands. He's like the most lovable guy ever.
Well, I
Cheers.
think Welsh people shook hands. I thought it was all hugs.
I don't know. Where are you from?
Cumbran.
Pontypool, Cwmbran.
Well, up that way, I thought it was worse. I thought it got a bit deeper, to be honest. So, yeah, I'm a Caerphilly boy originally, so I moved up this way. But yeah, I'm originally from Caerphilly.
Oh, right, okay.
I am a Caerphilly boy.
I saw curfews down there. They don't do hugs.
I bet they do other stuff as well. I'm glad I got away from all that.
Oh, I remember down there. What was it? It must have been 25 years ago, I think. I'm old. I'm older than you lot. So, yeah, it must have been 25 years ago. The whole fucking city was on curfew. Everybody had to be indoors by 9 o'clock.
It wouldn't fucking surprise me, to be honest. It was
shocking. It was.
I love it up SN, Cross Hands area and stuff. It's just so much more calmer and things. So
yeah,
but, yeah,
it was a nightmare, Caerphilly. Terrible.
Hell of a place.
Well, that's good. Well, is that castle still standing?
Yeah.
Even
the busted bit that's leaning.
Is it?
Fucking leaning over there a little bit, like, but it's there. You can prop it up in a photo if you want, like, but it is there.
Because I left Wales like 25 years ago, so yeah, so it must be.
Where are you living now then?
Holland.
Right, so that's hence why we had the old the time of the meeting wrong.
Yeah, because David said to me it was going to be 6 o'clock UK time. And I thought, oh, that's great, because I'm on nights tonight. And I thought, oh, brilliant. So now, because usually we do them like 8 o'clock my time.
Right.
But I thought, oh, an hour earlier, that'd be brilliant. I can get an hour's kip later on.
Oh, I do apologise for that.
No.
I don't need to apologise. It's all right. But then I set the wrong time out anyway today. I'm like,
yeah, well, I looked at the time. I thought, oh, yeah, perfect. That's because I remember Dave said 6, but I was like, oh, if it's 7, it's better. It gives the chance for the boys to get back, like,
Yeah.
But yeah, no. If you have any more questions, you fire away. It's we're easy.
Yeah. I'm a lot better at answering questions than I am asking them myself,
Really?
Yeah.
So.
Well, you don't need to ask any questions. We're the hosts. We need to ask you questions.
Yeah.
That's how
you never know.
Well, we don't like to call them interviews, really.
Oh, go on. We'll ask you a question. What's your favourite song on the album?
Oh, it's easy for me.
I don't know. I haven't listened to the album for a couple of weeks now.
So that's easy for me. So
go on, Dave.
Say definitely Distance is my favourite.
Okay.
Really like Girl Like You. Better Days
Better Days is a good song.
Yeah, The Storm. So yeah, it's just difficult really because it's and they when you because I like listening from start to finish because a lot of people don't do that. They just bounce about, don't they?
Yeah.
So sitting down and listen start to finish, and they all blend in together very well. But yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, we Penn
Distance
come up
is
with the
amazing.
idea
For
of
me, distance is your I don't know.
Is that-
Everybody knows I'm a massive Little Angels fan. So distance to me is your Don't Pray for Me. That's kind of like for me, that's going to be your
Little Angels. The singer of that is Toby.
Epsom.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, that's going to be your, whether it be your encore song or your closer song or whatever. For me, that's just a massive tune for you. That is, and I think it'll probably stick with you forever. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like your first release, wasn't it? Really, your first
Yeah.
record to come out, and for me, it's just an epic. Absolutely. As soon as it come out, I heard it, and I messaged Penn and said, "Send me the lyrics." And I don't know if he had him at that or whether he
No,
actually
you
physically
did
typed
get
them in
them
for me.
because I had an email coming in going, I don't know if you wrote these down, but I need that lyric. And I was like, I haven't written it down, but I'm gonna have to sit here and write it all down now. So, and I sent it to him. I said, who the fuck's asking for this? We're going to just release it, for God's sake. Can they listen to it and write it down?
Oh,
And he was like, no, give
I
me
don't
the
want to be
lyrics. So I was like,
too
okay.
graphic, but I was actually, Terry knows I spent a lot of time there, but I was actually in the bath, right? When I first heard the song.
Shit, I don't know where this is going right now, but
No, it's all clean, it's all good.
He's always in the bath.
So and I shouted down to the missus and I was like, you need to come and fucking listen to this, love. She was like, what's the matter? I said, it's Penn's band, his new song and everything. And then I was listening to it, she listened and she said, oh, it's amazing. Because the Crow song came out the same week, didn't it?
Yeah, that actually, I remember this now. Yeah, so the Crows released. I'm trying to think of the song now. But anyway, yeah, I remember Penn going, "Oh, for fuck's sake," he said, "We're going to release that now on the weekend," and they've just released that.
Yeah.
So we waited a week.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want to go up against the Crows. It was never going to happen,
But they complement each other so well, those two songs.
Yeah, the Crows are a great band.
It was like the Crow song is about his father, wasn't it? Shane's dad. So, they just complemented each other because they were both on the same sort of level. And
yeah, that's exactly what it was.
I said, because I actually said to her, I said, they're competing with the Crows, babe. I said, it's fucking unreal, this is. So
I think Penn spoke to Lloyd and said the same thing because he's quite friendly with Lloyd, and they were talking, and he was like, "Oh, we're going to release a track," and I think he sent it to Lloyd over Messenger or whatever, and he was like, "Oh shit, man, we kind of releasing a song like that as well, like
Yeah.
So and Ben was like, "Oh, we'll hold off. It's fine. We're not as big as you guys. We'll hold off, like So
man,
yeah,
timing on it, but yeah, brilliant, absolutely awesome. So yeah, that's it for me. That's what I would say. But I think Distance is going to be that's your anthem for me already.
Yeah, we played that a little different live, and we did it that way because it's it's got a lot of stuff going on the track, like So we gave Aidan the unfortunate events of it, finding a niche version of it, which he does, and Alex. So I believe Alex is doing the piano part, Aid, yeah, and you're doing the main bits. So we got Alex actually doing the bass as a piano, which is really nuts, and it works. Yeah. And Aidan's doing all all the other bits as usual.
Yeah, kind of like a pad really, because like a little bit of chorus and delay on the guitar just to like swell in and just fill the void.
It's very like knocking on heaven's door in my world. But again, it's good. It works, and it is that sort of end of the night song. And so is Girl Like You. Girl Like You. I think we'll always end on Girl Like You because it's such a good party song,
Yeah.
And people
it
love
is
that
quite
one.
poppy, isn't it?
It is poppy. It is.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Bit of party in it.
What was the fuck?
You kind of find that. Oh, sorry. I was going to say what I found with the album when we were writing stuff is that it's like every song kind of fits like a puzzle piece into a different genre. Because you got The Storm, was kind of like an 80s power ballad. You've got Girl Like You, a slightly more like punky pop rock. You got No Escape, which is a little bit more, so I would say harder AOR. You got Voices, which is more Guns N' Roses. Do you know what I mean? It's just everything has its own like little genre.
We said when we were writing, I've listened to everybody else. I mean, but I listen to albums and I'm like, oh, they're just so continuously the same, like, and it bores me a little. And there's only a very few albums I can press play on. I'll only mention them once because it's Harem, and they are my favorite band because they do deliver different stuff, and they're not afraid to try out different guitar tones and different versions of a piano and keyboard and strings. And I think, why not? At the end of the day, I remember somebody telling me when you're recording an album, you can put anything you want on it.
Mm.
It doesn't matter. Like you're not doing it all simultaneously together, so we can put whatever we want.
Yeah.
How we deliver that live is a different game, but there are ways of doing it. We're trying to be as true to the song as we possibly can, without a keyboard player. Do you know what I mean? It's difficult, but we are getting there. I think we've nailed it now. But we do use a track on stage. It doesn't bother me telling people about it because we haven't got a keyboard player, and I'm not going to get one probably because they just take up far too much room on stage, and I don't really want them there.
Yeah.
So
you can borrow Jen from FM.
Yeah, well, if I had a stage big enough for that guy, yeah, I would. That guy's got 7 keyboards, and kudos to them because that's their sound.
Yeah,
but that's not our sound. Our sound in Powell-Payne is guitar-driven riffs with hooks, and the more Aidan is flashing his fingers around that fretboard, the happier I'll be.
No,
favorite for album too.
He'll paint himself down as he normally does, but he knows he's a god.
Absolute class.
He's a god.
I was blown away by him when we watched it up at Memo. Class.
It's a pity you didn't see us Saturday because he was on fire Saturday, but I have got some tips I can send you and have a look, so it's no problem. I can sort you out with that.
Cool.
Oh, that'd be cool. Send them over. I'll whack him in the video.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, we have. I got some shorts actually you can use if you want.
All right, cool.
I think we did Toto as well, Angel Don't Cry. And we did Hard to Love, Harem Scarem as well. So
for you, yeah.
For me.
Yeah, for you. It is a good song, to be fair.
It is a good song. I wish it was my song, but it's not. But it works for us so well. It's exactly sort of the pace we want to be at, good pace. It's like Voices, really. It's got that pace in it.
Well, you mentioned
your influences then, Aidan.
My influences?
Yeah.
Oh God, where the heck? How do I start on that? I mean, we're talking like all of my favorite bands are from the 80s. Really, I was born in totally the wrong era. So like, I love Whitesnake, Def Leppard, I love Journey, I love Europe, I love all that stuff. Not a big Van Halen fan, which is probably blasphemy for a lot of people from back then. But I tend to prefer the more melodic stuff. So like for me, like you listen to like John Sykes in Whitesnake '87, absolute masterpiece for me. But I do. The funny thing is, though, when obviously my first journey started, I was very much into like sort of like the poppy punk rock stuff. So your Blink, your Green Day, and all that. And I've actually started listening back to it recently, and I'm kind of what I'm rediscovering is that like the songs are so simple, but it's the hooks in the choruses that catch you. The chord work can be literally 4 chords all the way through, but it's the way that the way that the choruses are written and like the melodies, and like that's I know we're talking about influences, but that's the kind of thing I want to like sort of like put into album too when we do it. Is like I know Adam wants me to do like all the flashy stuff, and that I'm cool with that. I'll definitely try my best, but like I do think like sometimes just keeping it simple and melodic is more my thing. Like we were discussing the other day about like, do we prefer John Norum or Cimacello as the guitarist of Europe? And for me, like I like John and I love his bluesy, but for me Key, because like you listen to the Out of This World album by Europe, and it's probably one of the biggest musical influences in my life. I'll never forget when I hear that album when I was like 13, 14, and I was just like, what is this? Wow, changed my life forever. So yeah, so basically these melodic stuff.
Yeah,
cool.
Sorry for the tangent.
Can't beat it, can I?
No, man, love it, absolutely love it. Don't get me wrong, like I like a bit of metal here and there as well, but it's just 80s cheese is my thing. I'm a sucker for melody. That's what it is for me.
Yeah, I like it. I like 80s rock. Do you know, for songwriting skills, the Eagles just fucking do it for me. Like, do you know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
they've got some serious class. Like it's
Yeah.
I'm a different breed to Aidan there. My mum's from 1950, so I grew up on really like, sad, like Nights in White Satin songs,
Yeah.
Then moved on to the Eagles, Tina Turner, and then she'd go all the way then over to whatever, like, but I'm with Aidan, and I'm looking for melody. I'm looking for something that I know when I've written a good melody with my lyric here, because if one of my sons who absolutely don't give two shits about music, they both rugby, all three of them are rugby heads. But the two older ones, they love their dance. And if I have to listen to that car rocking up on my drive with that boom, 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 another night, I could run out there and smash the car, and it absolutely drives me crazy. Can't you just listen to tidy songs about it? Oh, it is tidy songs. No, they're not. They're just bass lines, which I could create on a pad in about 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And I could even sing the same line 400 times through the song. It would sound the same.
Yeah.
But when I've written a good melody and lyric, I'll sing it to them just to see what happens. And when I remember writing Better Days, which was my 5th attempt, by the way, I've rewritten it 5 times because I wasn't happy with the lyric content. They were all walking around the house singing it, and I was like, yeah, got it. That's it. That is it. I've nailed it. And I wrote it the night before we were doing the studio. And that's my highest accomplishment to date, is that song. 5 times I wrote that thing, and not once did it look good. And I still changed it after we'd recorded it, which Aidan will remember, because I wasn't happy with the chorus. Yeah. So then I left it a week and shot all the way up to Pete Newdeck and Tewkesbury, and we recorded all the chorus again. But
you had to drive up, didn't you, if I remember, in the middle of the week to do it?
If I'm not getting a melody or some hook or something, I'm out.
Yeah.
And I showed the boys a song the other day. They're still going, actually, Crash Diet, but they released an album called Generation Wild back in 2011. That thing's got about as many hooks on that album as any Journey album I ever heard. How good, and they're metal, so it just, I think that's what shows the diversity in the band, because I know Penn listens to some really different stuff, like, he's Skunk Anansie, and he likes the women singer band as well, but he also loves Maiden, loves Toto, obviously. Toto's probably, I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn, but I think it might be his number one. But actually, sorry, the Beatles would be number one. I just remembered the Beatles, yeah. And then I'd imagine Toto were there. But yeah, I'm with you. I think the Eagles, they left so much gap in hook and the way they sang their melody and their harmonies and stuff.
Yeah,
it just, every song is just so good. Like, it's just not a shit song in their caliber. Like, it's they're unreal. And I think the other one for me was Kansas.
Oh, right, yeah.
I think they know how to deliver as well.
Yeah.
Are they the ones that done Wayward Son?
Sorry?
Yeah.
Did Kansas do Wayward Son? Carry on? Yeah. I'm going to sound like sacrilegious here, because, like, again, like when Adam's talking about, I'm a whole different generation, because I only know that because of the South Park episode with the Guitar Hero. If you've seen it, you guys know it.
But yeah, no, but I think it's good to have different different albums. Like, I listen to Michael Bolton, and then today I come over, I'm listening to Gojira. Do you know what I mean? Just two completely different worlds there.
Yeah.
But if Gojira is not doing it for me, I might shift over to Metallica, and then I'll shift back and I'll listen to the chorus. Doesn't bother me. Yeah. Whatever's good, whatever's got a hook, I'm all over it. As long as it's just got a good chorus. I think another load of Welsh boys are doing it well at the moment. The Scarlet Rebels and those damn Crows, because they are writing hooks.
Yeah.
And hooks sell.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because like at the end of the day, like if you only hear a song once, or you hear the chorus once, and you're able to just suddenly randomly hum it from nowhere, then that does happen. It's infectious, isn't it? Like you know you've done well. But like I listen to some really, really weird shit. Like I listen to Japanese bands. Now I can't understand what the hell they're saying, but musically it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I found I sent it over to Adam because like I'm at the moment I'm listening to all sorts of stuff to get like inspiration for album 2. And there's one Japanese AOR band called Grand Prix, and I found this song called No Color, and I was just listening to it. And I was like, fucking hell, this is really good stuff. Like, and I sent it to Adam. I was like, ignore the singing because I'm gonna fucking clearly say it, but musically though, it's great, isn't it? It's really like really good stuff. So
in my world,
yeah.
I got like my WhatsApp group, lots of things going on in there, and I got this lot sending me stuff, and I go, all right, okay, I'll have a listen to it. And then one minute I'm listening to some like sort of big 80s riff or something, and then I got this guy sending me some Japanese shit, and I'm thinking, what am I supposed to do with this? And then he goes, and in fairness, he just goes, no, don't listen to this, just listen to this, and that, you know? And I go, yeah, fair enough. So yeah, I know what he's doing. He's sending me like a reference, and he knows once he gives me a reference, and if I chew on it, then that's when the song, me and Penn get together then, and we start the production of it, and then I'm like, we got to put this in. He wants us to have a look at this, and Penn, well, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, yeah, I know, but if you listen to it, just singling it out, I know what he's trying to do. Like, he's like, fuck, well, yeah, whatever,
Yeah, I think it's because it's like, it depends on how people listen. Because like, as a guitar player, what I struggle with now is I can't listen to a song as just a song. When I listen to something, I dissect it, and I don't mean to. I don't want to, but because I'm a musician, I can't help but think, oh, I like the way that chord runs out there. Oh, I like the way that works with that. Oh, and I can't help it. Whereas someone else could just listen to a song with like terrible shitty guitar tone, like Look at the Kinks, like You Really Got Me. Great song. But if you listen to like the guitar literally sounds like it's plugged into a fucking tin can. But now if as a musician, I'm like, oh my God, it's terrible. But your average person is like, oh yeah, that sounds amazing. That does, it's just, but what I'm getting at is like with those songs and stuff and weird things is I'm like, no, listen to the melody here, listen to the chord structure here, listen to that, not listen to the Japanese guy, watashi wo, and all that.
Spoiled by technology.
No, it's good. I love listening to new stuff. I really do. I tell you what I have jumped onto lately. I'll just get it right now. Let's get my phone, because I always get this wrong every time I type it into my Spotify, but I've been listening to them a lot, and I tell you what, if these guys don't make it, I will be shocked. And they are called The New Roses.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah, I've seen them live.
That song they've got of theirs, which is called, because I'm on this now, I can't think of what it's called.
My bedtime as well.
Yeah, This Heart.
Yeah. All right, okay.
Yeah, they're a class outfit.
That is got to be one of the best songs I've heard this year.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is that the
German or something like that, isn't they? Or
they're either German or Dutch lads.
Yeah.
What a vocal.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We watched them in Treacle Bay.
That's right. Yeah, they were there, weren't
they? Flew over, but their instruments hadn't come. So they ended up borrowing instruments from all the other bands that were playing that day, and then they played an absolute killer show. It was unbelievable.
I seen a clip of him playing This Heart, and his voice was incredible.
Yeah, they are very, very good. Yeah,
very good.
I think they were one of the ones I probably messaged you on to and said, because whenever I go to a festival, any new bands that I see that I like, I message Terry and just say, oh, check these out. I really enjoyed these guys. And they were definitely one of them. They were one of the takeaways from the weekend. They were brilliant.
Yeah, no, so it's a really good, fair play. I really enjoyed it.
I hear on Planet Rock quite often. It's like, This Heart is that one, isn't it? Yeah. I hear on Planet Rock, and when it comes on, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, professional on stage as well. I mean, they look the biz like.
Yeah, they're very good. They're polished, aren't they?
Yeah, very much so.
They are.
They're good. Yeah, I've got
it, guys. David will go on forever.
I've got into the Pretty Reckless, I have, which I didn't.
Yeah, just leave David in with us. We'll sort him out now.
I do apologise. I do have to shoot shortly.
If you're happy, we're happy. Like I said, thanks for having us.
Yeah,
like I say, at the end of this week now, we'll release some really cool news, and then next week, if not this week.
What do you mean the end of the week? It's already Wednesday.
I know. I think I got to wait till Friday. I was told today.
So tell me now, and I'll cut it off.
Same as I'll
I
make
can't.
sure it's all about frontiers.
It's nothing major.
Well, you can tell me now because it's not going to come out anyway until next week or the week after.
Okay, all right then. So we're signing with Rebel Meets Rebel. So the boys give me the permission to go ahead. So Rebel Meets Rebel is basically a sidekick off SD Entertainment. SD Entertainment are the guys who run everything from melodic rock up. So I needed to find somebody who knows our genre, and we found Victoria. She was working with the group that used to look after like FM and people like them. So she's gone on her own, I believe. So we hooked up with her, luckily, through Aled. So she's looking after us now. And we've got 4 dates with Marco Mendoza in September.
Yeah. I was going to ask your bass player, because he said he plays fretless bass.
Yeah.
Because Marco plays fretless bass as well.
Yeah, them two will get on just dandy. Yeah. Alex is a great player. I
got a Marco Mendoza's phone number if you want it.
No, I'll see him in September.
He's been on here like 3 or 4 times.
So we're gonna do 4 gigs for them, with Marco, in September.
Yeah.
So I think at the moment I actually don't know where they are yet. I've just agreed to the dates. I know one of them's in Grimsby and I know one of them's in Newcastle, so we're up the north. And then we've got October, we've got 10, which is already out. We're playing with 10. Yeah. Again, I used to do a bit of work with Gary, so I know Gary quite well. So lucky to get that show because it was good just to meet up with him. I haven't seen him for about 10 years. So we got that. And I think everything else is just going to come flowing then. I think next year then Victoria's going to look after us for, we've got a couple of options in next year. I can got something thrown my way, which that I definitely can't mention because it's really, they are a huge band. So we've been asked for that. So if they do come over, we will be on that tour. If not, we've got something else lined up as well. But yeah, I think, I know lots of people, Penn know lots of people, but it's not enough to get you on a poster.
Yeah.
When all these agencies and promoters have got their own bands and they're like, well, yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to put you on that poster when I've got 9 bands underneath me who want to play,
Yeah.
So we have to get on the roster with somebody at some point. And I think Victoria's perfect for us. She's easy to work with already. And I think she will do good things for us. And she does know how to drive the lower market band, which is what I think we are right now. Do you mean we're not a big fish right now, and we're not a middle fish either. We're a very, very small fish. And we're going to have to work hard to get noticed.
Yeah. You've got to be consistent. That's the thing.
Yeah, live is I have no qualms about us live because I know we can all deliver on our day. And again, as you say, it's got to be consistent live.
Yeah, you got to pick your days. All right, then. And Aidan, you will get on with Drew because I'm sure Marco will be playing with Drew. He's a brilliant guitarist.
Drew's with him, yeah.
Yeah, Marco's awesome. He's such a lovely guy.
Yeah, we've had Drew on the show a couple of times.
Who did Drew play for before? Because I've seen him in another band, but I don't know where.
Boy George.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I gotta love you,
mate.
Come on, mate.
Yeah, look after
Later,
yourself.
guys.
Okay, cheers, guys.
Take care.
All right, cheers. Ta-ra. Ta-ra, Adam.
Hey, look after yourself, mate. Cheers, Terry.
Ta-ra, mate.
Ta-ra.
Bye, Dave. Oh, I can't leave it.